World Tech Series. Michael, good to have you again back in the commentary box.
G'day, Mike. Good to be back, and what a great tournament it's been so far. And yeah, mate, you mentioned the World Cup, and it was fantastic. A lot of success for the Australian teams over there. 11 out of the 13 titles going to the Australians. I was fortunate enough to play in the men's 40s, who we had a fair bit of success over there, and coached the Women's Open. So fantastic tournament, and as is this one. And what a great day it's been, Jeff. So far, we've had so many of these quarterfinals go into extra time, and that previous game was no different.
Yeah, thanks, Mick. It certainly has been. There's been some great talent on display here, both across the young men and the young ladies, the young girls. And coming up, our next game's the girls under 14s. And we've got the Wolverines featuring against the Stingrays. The Wolverines, well, they were first in their Group A, and the Stingrays, well, they play second in Group B. So, yeah, I believe the Wolverines are undefeated so far, and it looks like the Stingrays are going to have a little bit of a challenge there.
Looking forward to seeing. I've got to say, Jeff, I've been really impressed with the standard of play, not only in particular across the female game, and you know, I'm really looking forward to this semi-final clash. Two very good teams, and the Wolverines have proven that throughout this tournament that they're a tough team to beat.
Well, it's the Wolverines right now that are on the attack for the first set of 6 in the opening minutes, or opening seconds, I should say, of this first half. And there's the first slight error. There's a missed tag, 2 missed tags, taps the kick through, eyes up footy, and gets a penalty for contact. Well, I don't know, Mick. They're out there. You've got to back the refs, but was that contact? Is that what that penalty was for?
It appeared to be contact for, but again, I look at. For me, it seemed incidental. Like
like the kick had gone through, and she somehow contacted because they came into. Yeah. Anyway, that's footy. The thing is, they've just got to pick it up, dust it off, and go on with it there. So an opportunity now for the Stingrays. So they make their way centre field, and they're keen to shuffle it. And there's a pass that almost went forward, but the ref says no, play on there. So they'll come back towards the centre now. And the Stingrays, it gets a young lady there to come under. And she almost gets through, Ashley Lestrange. So they'll go to the left side. And there's a little tap through also. And the Wolverines, who are receiving, running from right of screen. And I see the Stingrays got new colours this year, Mick.
They certainly do, yeah. It's an Indigenous design. Looks fabulous up close. So well done to whoever managed to put that together. They've done a great job.
Well, one of our producers was just talking in my ear, wanting to know who the teams were. So the colours might have thrown them off. But it's definitely the Stingrays from the lovely Sutherland Shire up against the Southwest Wolverines. And there's a nice kick that's gone all the way down. And it's found the touchline, but a good position for a handover, Mick.
Yeah, a really good kick. And you know what, both teams testing each other out in these early couple of minutes. And that was a really solid kick there from the Wolverines to get themselves out of trouble. They struggled to get out of their end, and the kick has sort of saved them there. Again, Jeff, I want to point out to the listeners and the viewers, the skill of these girls. We're going to see plenty of passing, good straight lines there, and the game has come a long way over the last couple of years in terms of, and that's a credit to the coaches who have done an amazing job. There's a beautiful hole.
There's a beautiful ball, and well hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Mick. I can only agree with you. I mean, you look at players like Jess Surges, who played for Australia last night. She's an Oz-tagger through and through. Yep. And this is such a great area for them to develop their skill before they step up into the contact game if they want to go down that path.
Most definitely, mate. And it's exciting to see.
Here's the Stingrays now with a nice hitting a hole, and they pick up their winger over there on the left edge. And they've managed to get the first points, the Stingrays.
It was a good try, and again, it was on the back of good play, the lead-up. I think it might have been. But the lead-up play, we've got, we think about, the first couple of plays there, that short ball to the straight runner certainly put the defence under a lot of pressure, and they weren't able to redeem themselves.
So here's the replay here. Quick settle, and then dummy half reads to go the short side. And nothing like a ponytail over a number. I think it was the number 1. I'm going to take a punt and call Ashley Lestrange for the Stingrays. I'm going to take a punt on that. Sorry if I got it wrong, but yeah, ponytails over numbers. My daughter's been doing it to me all my life. When I've watched them play tag or footy or whatever, and yeah, when you see a ponytail over your number and you've got 3 or 4 ponytails, same coloured hair.
And there's a good kick-off to the Stingrays. They've got the ball back after finding the sideline there in the 10-metre period, or 10-metre area.
So the undefeated Wolverines under a little bit of pressure here now, and the Stingrays look good. They've got some good plays and people coming under and sweeping around and some decoy runners.
Good movement off the ball, which is really important. It actually puts the defence in 2 minds.
And their coach, Brett Carroll, obviously done some good work with these young ladies.
Tag 4, nice, hold.
So they'll take it to the middle there. You can hear the referee barking his orders there, Robert Raymond.
Good space out here to the left.
Yeah, they've got numbers 2. Yeah, look at this. Just still found an opportunity just when you thought. But she just sucked the defender over there, Mick.
Yep, she drew them in and created space around the middle. The defenders there on the right-hand side not working across as hard as they should have. And in fact, I think the middle defender there probably overchased somewhat, which created that space on the inside.
Yeah, well, it sort of came from nothing. We all thought though that she should have kept going, to the left. Here that's the. She goes bang, stops, and just brings it back in. And the
number 33.
The young girl from the Stingrays, Monique Marshall, 33.
She's had a good start. She set up the first try and was involved in that second try, scoring to give them a 2-0 lead. Like you said earlier, Jeff, the Wolverines, they're under a little bit of pressure, and another mistake here.
None of that.
Wow, from the kickoff. They're their own enemy at the moment. And their coach, Paul Peel, I don't know, what message does he send out? Just to settle down and, are they a bit nervous?
Yeah, I think this is a really important set for them defensively, just to ensure they don't get 3 tries behind in the first 5-6 minutes.
Well, it's 2-0 in favour of the Stingrays here, and it's all the momentum staying with them, whether it's pressure from playing on the big stage, I don't know, with the Wolverines, but they've just made some errors and they've nearly made another one, and they've called tag off, and rightly so. So the Stingrays here, they come under again and try and change against the grain. It's a 5th and last here with an opportunity, and they got numbers, but the defence is up, and I guess they've probably not much room to kick, and the defence come up and compressed them anyway, Mick.
Yeah, look, I'd be happy with that completion there from the Stingrays. They've got to make the Wolverines ruck out, and this is an important set now for the Wolverines. They've done it defensively. They've got to get on a bit of roll. They haven't been up the other end at any stage yet.
So the Wolverines now been starved of the ball just through some errors from the last couple of kickoffs. They're trailing 2 points to 0, and there's just under 8 minutes remaining here, and the under 14 girls. And there's a penalty.
It's going to be a big play, I think, here.
Well, fresh set of 6. Need get points and get themselves into this game. So they'll work their way back to the middle, and you can see that the Cronulla defence is, Stingrays defence too, is coming up. So they've obviously done some defensive drills, and they're just basically hammering them back in around the ruck. Mick.
I like the way they're working well and playing with an 8-line defensive pattern, as opposed to some teams will play with the fullback. They've decided to play with the 8 in the line and rely on their wingers to play like a pendulum type defence pattern.
Well, there's been another error made by the Wolverines, and there's a handover now for the Stingrays. They'll bring on some fresh legs. Nice little wrap around there near the middle. And a quick settle there by Eva Benton. Now they come too wide towards the western touchline. And Brooke Carroll into dummy half, decides to work the short side again. I'm guessing that's the coach's daughter, Brett Carroll. Now they work their way back to the middle, this time through Bradley. They got numbers to the left here, and it's a 5th and last. And if they got a good kick chase, there's a winger there, and they've got to bounce off a foot, but the Wolverines manage managed to catch that just in time, Mick.
The bouncing ball, always a concern. Doesn't matter who you are or how long you've been playing for.
And certainly something that's rattled a few NRL teams this year.
Certainly has.
They've incorporated it back into the game, haven't they?
Yep, mate. It's the bounce of the rugby league ball can go anywhere, or the Oztag ball on this occasion can go anywhere, and certainly gets you sweating bullets sometimes. Good play there.
What nice hands, and I like the way their backline was set, the Wolverines then. So they've made their way up to the halfway. It's the fifth and last. The Wolverines haven't really had much momentum, but an opportunity here.
Line, one marker. Yep, keep coming back for me. Tag one, very good.
Right. So the Stingrays on the halfway now, and they come back under against the grain, this time through Bradley. They go left again. And they're happy to run just off the hip and the shoulder there, so a mistag and they're through, but the Wolverines holding their own at the moment. Well, that was a nice pass. It just propelled a little bit forward there, Mick. But, geez, that could have been nice if it was on target.
Yeah, it was a good line. It was really good execution out of dummy half. Bit of deception. But just unfortunately didn't nail the pass.
But, again, the skill level, you know, it's amazing. You know, these under-14 girls, and they're playing with some really nice skill there.
I like the big thing for me is the way that they're actually, you know, movement off the ball. Changing angles, the passing is, you know, really on point, which is really important, you know. And this is, you know, let's bear in mind, this is the semi-final, so we're going to see quality.
So it's the Wolverines now on the attack, the first, probably the best they've looked thus far and the closest they've got to the try line in this part of the first half. 4 minutes remaining, it's the fifth and last. They're trailing by 2-0, and the defence has managed to take the tag there and shut that one down.
They actually had an opportunity on the right-hand side, and unfortunately the first receiver swept around behind the dummy half and come to the open side. But if they had stayed where they were, there was actually numbers there to the left.
Well, it's all Stingrays with the momentum at the moment. They lead by 2-0, 3.5 minutes remaining, and on the attack, just a few short of the halfway now. Here's a settle here through Anderson. So they'll come out of dummy half, they'll put the kick through, and there's no one at the back there, so it's actually worked out all right. A good kick chase, regathers, and you wouldn't believe it. The Stingrays have gone over for a fantastic try.
It was like a thief in the night. I'm sure the Wolverines player had it at some stage there, but clearly the Stingray player somehow, the Houdini trick there where she managed to steal the ball and score a try, which puts them 3 tries ahead.
Yeah, against an undefeated Wolverines, and we'll go to the replay here.
It's a great kick down the centre of the field, no one in and around, and it's just a great chase. Just popped up, and there you go.
Yeah, there you go. The number 5, Paige Deberensky. I hope I got that one right.
Mate, you're 1,001.
Prezenzi. Look, I totally apologise. I read that before I called this game and thought, geez, I hope I don't get stuck on that one. So my apologies to you, Paige, and your family, and Mum and Dad and Nan and Pop that'll watch that one. But a great try and an opportunity gone begging there. Unlucky. I mean, the idea was good to get the ball away, but she's run it a metre forward. And she's blaming everyone else. I think maybe she's just frustrated.
I think. Yeah. Well, they would be frustrated when you consider they've been undefeated. They haven't been in this position before, and things just aren't going their way at the moment.
And they trail currently 3-0 the Wolverines, and it's all the Stingrays with the momentum, and undefeated Wolverines coming in at the top of their table in Pool A up against the Stingrays, who came second in Pool B. So there's an error now by the Stingrays, one of the first ones we've seen.
I'd really like the Wolverines to get the job done and perhaps put a try on just before half-time. They really do need it, I must say.
They need points before half-time. Was that a little kick through? They've gone early.
Was.
Back to self.
First play.
Tagless, but she's managed to get pulled up there, so they're about 10 metres out on the attack, and probably the best the Wolverines have looked in this whole first half.
Good field position now. They've got 4 plays.
Say that again. So here goes the Wolverines now, and they've managed to almost get through, but the Stingrays' defence is up there. So they've gone the short side with the sweeper, but there's not much room there, Mick, to work.
No, it was a tight short side there.
So here they go again. They love that short side, but she's jumped up straight onto the touchline. So, yeah, the Wolverines are our own worst enemy at the moment.
Seem to be a little bit disjointed and confused as to, which way they should be going and the style of play.
Definitely the open side. It was open that many times. They kept going that short side. So I don't know if that's a tactic that their coaches suggested or just a bit of pressure being on the big stage here today. So here go the Stingrays now. Another settle there from Anderson to the middle. This time they come back to the other side. And the Stingrays leading by 3-0 with about 24 seconds remaining in this first half. And they're looking more and more confident. And here they go with a nice little swivel and a run through there by Hawksworth. Hawksworth plays it back. They shoot it out of dummy half. And this time they go for a kick and they found some grass in between the defensive line and the fullback. And the Wolverines, they'll defuse that one there. And they'll probably get one play out of this. They'll shoot it back to the middle. They're probably not aware, obviously, of the timing. So there goes the siren in the background. And the referee, Robert Raymond, he blows the whistle. So it's all the Sutherland Shire Stingrays right now at 3-0 at half time. And we'll have a look at the highlights package in just a moment. But Mick, the Wolverines struggling to get themselves into this game.
Yeah, they certainly are. And, it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Peel has to say at half time. They haven't been in this position, I dare say, throughout the tournament. And just really struggling to find any sort of momentum or able to apply any pressure to the Stingrays, who have been outstanding, I must say. They've had a lot of field position, capitalised on that field position, and have put a lot of pressure on the Wolverines' defence.
So here's the highlights package now. That's when they shoot out of the short side there. Young Carroll passes it out of dummy half onto the 33 Marshall, and then they score in the corner. Time they come back to the left
here, and
we stop. Jank.
You can see the two defenders there. The Wolverines defenders were basically behind each other. They over-chased and created the space for the 33 to go into. That being Marshall.
And this is the nice kick chase. Gets the bounce, ponytail and all. Bang, straight up. And
say it again, mate. Say it again. You've said it eight different ways. Might as well make it 9.
DeBragenzi.
Oh, well done. Well done.
DeBragenzi, I'm going with on that one.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. I'm just going to call her Paige.
The lovely Paige.
The lovely Paige. Miss Paige. Call her? Yes, fantastic. So, but you know what? I'll tell you what, she gets rewarded there for her effort.
Yeah.
Chasing really hard. And it's probably been the most impressive part of both teams has been their kicking game. And their kick chase, but they've done really well here, and we see it sometimes in the girls' game where the kicking, is a little bit less to be desired. But on this occasion, in this game in particular, it's been impressive from both teams and proven how important the kick chase is, and they got a result which took them to a 3-0 lead.
Well, I thought the kicks have been great. They haven't had too much weight on them. The bounce has paid off, and like you just said, a kick's only as good as its chaser, and what a great reward for that young lady, Paige. Okay, so we're going to make our way to the second half, and we've got the Wolverines currently trailing the Stingrays 3-0, and in this semi-final. So the winner getting an opportunity in the grand final this afternoon. So the Wolverines to start us off, and that's very big. Geez, she could almost just let that go, and they would have gone over the dead ball. But she's played at it because you can't look down at the line when you've got a ball coming at you. And she's managed to run back about 15, 20 metres anyway, Mick.
Yeah, she got plenty of yardage there, and it's a good place to be starting your first set in this second half.
Okay, so Hayley Henley just took that settle, and I think that's who scored that try in the first half with the ponytail I was struggling with. So I'm just going to keep an eye on her. Meanwhile, it's the Stingrays. So they've come out confidently in this first set of 6 in the second half. They're up on the halfway. The referee signals the 5th and last. So they tap it through. It looks like it might have touched a Wolverine player there. So is that play on? No, it didn't. So there's the hand over there. The Stingrays managed to regather that. but to no avail.
Commentator's curse, Jeff. We just talked about how good the kicking game is. And she kicks it straight into one of the Wolverines players.
Yeah.
I'll blame you for that.
So it's the Wolverines right now with an opportunity. They've got to get themselves back into this game. And there's the first missed tag, and she just backed herself. Second missed tag, and swivels away down to about 20 metres out. The young lady there, that's Charlie Haddad. And now they go to the left side, the Wolverines. And Haddad again ends up with the ball. So they've got to capitalise here and try and get themselves back into the game. So a little bit of a run around here, a little bit flat, but nice little ball. And he's saying, no, the ball was away before the tags were off, but great defence there by the Stingrays to save that try. So the Wolverines now with an opportunity, and the first time the Stingrays have been on the back foot. And on the fifth and last, they've played it out, and probably wasn't a bad option for where they ended, Mick.
No, that's not a bad play. You've got to try and maintain some sort of pressure on this Stingrays and see whether they can maintain what they've been doing in that first half. So a good set from the Wolverines, probably the most dangerous they've been and looked in this whole game.
So the Stingrays now make their way back up. They're about 15 away from the halfway, centre field. They'll come to the left edge. And again, always seem to have runners and support players there and different options. They've got three stacked to the short side here, and they go that way. But the Wolverines read the defence, but nice little tap through there, and well regathered by the Stingrays. And she nearly gets herself down that left touchline. That's Sienna Best, and I'm just wondering if it may be related to Colin Best, who's down involved in the Shire nowadays. I think he coaches one of the young junior league teams.
It was a really good set, and again, the great kicking can. That's a really good option down that short side. The winger had to come up defensively, which created space for the chasers to get through, and Best showed plenty of toe.
Mate, that was a great little kick. Bounced up perfectly and took a punt on this short side. Like that,
Yep.
You know, anyone else could have put that out under that sort of pressure. So referee Raymond explaining the rule there, and it looks like it's going to be a handover from the Stingrays.
I think that appeared to be the defender diving on the loose ball, which isn't allowed or permitted. Which it's a
You
tough.
got to pick it up.
It's a tough rule, but yeah, and it's a safety issue. But yeah, defenders aren't allowed to dive on a loose ball, and it's only if it's a kick where the defending team can dive on the ball.
So the Wolverines now trying to make their way up to the halfway, and there's a penalty offside. So referee Robert Raymond, he's on the whistle, and he's letting the Stingrays know. So the Stingrays, I don't know if they've I wouldn't say they've bundied off, but the Wolverines are getting some momentum finally in this second half. They're trailing 3 points to 0, and they're trying a few moves there, Mick, but again, another error there. Oh, he's called tag off. I'll take it back. And lucky because, that last little bit of execution.
Yeah, not quite right, not quite what they were looking for, but they've got another 3 or 4 plays to put some pressure on this Stingrays team.
So here they go again. They've pulled out their little bag of tricks for the second half. They've got a few moves. They've got players coming under and running decoys and wrap around and all sorts of things. So here go the Wolverines now, but to no avail there for a dad who's been playing around the first receiver role. So here they come out of dummy half, one wide. Wolverines about 10 metres out now, fifth and last. The kick option's got to be a good one. It's a little bit flat. Oh, the defence is up, and well, they've shut that one down, Mick.
Well done from the Stingrays.
Yeah.
That was a very, very good defensive set. And you know what, to be honest with you, it wasn't a great attacking set from the Wolverines. They didn't really offer a lot. I think they were trying things, but yeah, their execution is poor at the moment. I think they're just frustrated, to be honest with you.
They just seemed a little bit flat. But for mine, the Stingrays, they just seem to have that little bit more energy. They're running to the line. They're wrapping around. Like you watch this little 33, Monique Marshall, who's just about almost to get the ball. She's chasing this kick now. So that's a nice little kick, and she regathers herself, and the Stingrays have managed to go over.
She's got the tag. I think she's got the tag.
We'll see what the referee says. He's going to award it. And referee Robert Raymond awards that one. So the Stingrays will go to 4. The Wolverines 0.
There's that
and
kick again, Jeff.
Well, it's that 50-50 calls, you know. Sometimes they go for you, sometimes they go against you. But we'll see on the highlight package that try there. I think it might have been, she backed herself here.
Number 3, I think it is. Brianna Carica.
She opened up. She got a lovely stride on her. That's a tough call. I mean, look, well, it could go either way.
100%, mate.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't like to be the ref in that one.
Referee's in a good position. It was a really good try there from Rihanna, who, put another kick in.
Again, good kicking game.
Just inside.
Just inside. See, no touchies. He's called it. It bounced just before the yellow came. And of course, you can explain the rule to our listeners.
So from the kickoff, if it goes between the try line and the 10-metre line, then the team who kicks off regains possession of the ball. So it just outside that zone, according to the referee, and therefore the Wolverines end up with the ball.
And a great technical move again, and well drilled probably by the coach. Brett Carroll was practicing that before they came up to the Junior Australian Championships here. So here's another mistake, and the Stingrays, well, they've got the momentum again, and this time they've got a great new fresh set of 6, and they're only about 15, 20 metres out now. So they go the short side, but there's an error there, and Dolly Favour unfortunately putting that one down. So a let off for the Wolverines, and they really got to inject. A 4-0 down, 7 minutes remaining. They need someone to step up, and this could be the one. And unfortunately, she's unable to get herself through there, but she manages to make some good metres, and hopefully they can capitalise off the back of Munro's little dart down the sideline. So now they'll come back to the centre. They've got a nice deep set back line, but they're just holding the ball a little bit too long. The defence is just right up on them, Mick.
Yeah, here we go again. Sweep around the short side. It's 4. Yeah, again, they just seem to be a little bit disjointed for mine in terms of their attack.
Oh, there's a nice little pass, and finally someone into a bit of space for the Wolverines. But she had 2 defenders to beat. It was always going to be a tough ask. So now they come to the western touchline, and again, do you think they took the wrong option there, Mick?
It's
easy to say from here.
Yeah, it is easy to say from here, but I can see that there's 2 defenders on the left-hand side, and there's 1 attacker.
Yeah.
There's got to be someone short on the other side for mine.
I'm sure when they watch the replay, they'll be better for that one. So here look at the way they're wrapping and re-injecting here the Stingrays. The energy level's gone up a bit. They're in front 4-0. We've got just on 6 minutes remaining. And there's a nice little short ball looking to hit the hole. Come back to the centre. This time they'll put the little kick through. And the Wolverines there to defuse it. And he gives a penalty, I think, for a push in the back here.
I'm not sure that was the right option there, considering, the time in the game left and, where they're positioned on the field. Well, looks like the girls are kick happy.
Well, they've gone a kick on the 0 there, and I didn't even see it hit the foot, but referee Raymond, he obviously heard it or saw it because he said off the foot. And it's the Wolverines now with an opportunity, and they really need to get some points on the board so they can lift their energy and get themselves back in the game. They've got numbers to the left. They've got a rapper comes swinging around, looks to go to the centre, but, geez, they've got numbers out there. They had to send it. So let's see if they do it this time. But the defence is reset, so they'll come back the other way. And they're just looking for, I think, lazy defenders. But the Stingrays, for mine, they've just been too good around the middle there.
They haven't missed a lot of tags, which has been impressive. There's an obstruction there.
Shepherd, yeah. There's a Shepherd there.
So with less than 5 to go, Stingrays are looking pretty good. I can't see the Wolverines. They haven't looked like really scoring, to be honest with you. I think they're relying heavily on the missed tag, and the Stingrays, to their credit, have been very, very good defensively.
Well, I haven't watched both teams over the weekend, but to, get... here we go, down the Western touchline to get the mail that the undefeated Wolverines. There's 2 teams in the 14s girls that were undefeated, Wolverines and the Tigers. So I thought, geez, the Stingrays might have a big ask here, but they've turned up here today in this semi-final, and they're playing with confidence. And there's a nice run as they take it to the line into the red zone almost of the Wolverines. Pass goes to ground, but it's gone back, so not too much to concern about. The referee puts his hand up for the 5th and last. Nice little kick. It's been a great tactic throughout the game for the Stingrays, and it's just managed to go over the try line / dead ball, Mick.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on that. And when I say just a little bit, I mean just a little bit. It was just one roll too many, but again, testing them with their kicking game and chasing extremely hard.
And that kick was Ocean Bradley. She's been good on the boot today. So the Wolverines running out of time. 3.5 minutes remaining. It's 4-0 in favour of the Stingrays in this semi-final. and the reward being a grand final berth. And here go the Wolverines now as they try and make their way up to the halfway. So even their pass is a little bit off target. And this, he's called a late tag. Yeah, and he's going to give the penalty. So he did call it, and he played it through, and they got the advantage, Mick.
Yep, here we go. They get a chance to get a try on the board for the Wolverines. They got plenty of 6 plays, probably about 20, 30 metres out now, or they're 10 metres out now after the first tag.
Well, here we go, and finally, nice
tag
from the marker there. It was Ashley Lestrange. So now they'll come back to the right. And they're just trying to work around that ruck, but they haven't been able to get there the whole game. Here, they've got numbers here, but it's a pretty short stack side. And still time against them at 2 minutes 43, but still bang, bang, 2 quick tries, and they could be back in this, but at the moment they're just...
they're hungry, they're hungry.
Yeah, the defence of the Stingrays, they're shooting off the line. There's good communication.
And it's led to errors. Right, and probably...
It's forced plenty.
Yeah, they certainly have. And, well done to the Stingrays. My goodness, what a great defensive performance. They've put it on in this semi-final. They've got to duplicate it now. That's the big test when they get to the GF.
The big GF. Playing any of those, Mick?
I played in the 01 grand final at the NRL level. I've had a few in odds tag, thankfully, which is good. Oh.
Well, she's just gone down the ground, but I think she's okay. That's Lila Hawksworth. So the Stingrays here with a minute 49 remaining, and he calls 5th and last. Tag was off. He wants to bring the ball back there, Robert Raymond. And a shoot to the right. They put the kick through. It looked like come off a Wolverine foot, but I think, is he saying not played at? He is saying played at. So it looks like the Stingrays are going to get...
Yep, they're going to get the ball. That should just about see him out.
Yeah, wow. So, yeah. Well, again, another strategic kick that's paid off for the Stingrays. So there's a nice settle towards the middle, and have a look at the back line stacked here. They're all stacked to the left here.
Lots of movement.
Yeah.
Lots of movement.
And they're hitting the ball with a bit of pace here. Let's see if they swing it back to the other side, because they've had plenty of ball movement right throughout the game. So the Stingrays, and there's an intercept, and finally someone's taken it upon themselves. Charlie Haddad has gone almost length of the field and got a silver consolation. And let's just go to the ref. He's got to give it. We thought about. We'll have a look on the replay. I'm like you, Mick. We thought there might have been, with the grounding, a little bit of an issue there. But, I mean, there's no touchies. And Robert Raymond's at the back. Now, she deserved to get that try. So, well done. That was Charlie Haddad. Have a look on the replay.
I'm prepared to say she's dropped it, mate. I don't know about you, Jeff. But, and again, it's all consolation now. And it's not going to make any difference.
Oh, we won't freeze frame that one.
It's on the scoreboard. That's all I know. It's 4-1.
4 points to 1, and it's going on her show reel as well. So here go the Stingrays now as they tuck it under the arm and look for a quick settle towards the centre. I think they're just going to play it out for the next 5 or 6 seconds here. And this time, nice passing and well hit there too by Anderson. They'll come back towards the middle now. And the Stingrays, well, they've turned up here today, and the siren's gone in the background. That is full time, and they will celebrate by taking out this semi-final over the Wolverines at 4 points to 1 here at CEX International Stadium. And some great celebrations there, Mick, right now.
It certainly is, the Stingrays, and justifiably so. What a great performance from those girls. They played a great style. Their kick chase was fantastic. The kicking game was excellent, and defensively they gave the Wolverines absolutely nothing. A consolation intercept try at the end there to Haddad, but outside of that, the Stingrays were very dominant throughout the game, and congratulations to those girls. They move into the grand final now, and it'd be interesting to see how they go as we head into the next game. I think the semi-finals now of the boys 15s, is it?
16s.
Boys 16s quarter-final. Here's some of the big boys now rocking up, and it's going to be very, very good to see, mate, because there's plenty of action to come in. And we've got young Cam Lloyd coming into the commentary box. He's played for Australia, got back from the World Cup where he had success with the men's 21s, men's open side, I apologise. And we've got some highlights now as we go through the last game. Good performance here, Jeff. Again, we talk about this inside pass here. Mackenzie, I think. Marshall, it was.
Marshall got the try,
Yeah, scoring that try there. And
it was all the Stingrays, wasn't it? For the whole game.
I touched on earlier how good the kick chase was. And here's a classic example here. He's put himself in position to gain possession and did so and got rewarded with a great try. That put them 3-0 ahead. And again, here it is again. Kick chase.
Beautiful bounce. Well weighted.
Great chase from the Wolverines defender, but just a little too late, according to referee Raymond. And
Rihanna Karika, I think, got that one. Oh, there's the intercept.
Haddad with the intercept, streaking away.